From a young age, I have looked up to my parents and their accomplishments, always yearning to take their best qualities and adopt them as my own. I'm very fortunate to have both my father and mother, although they separated when I was still young. I have learned much from both and take no favorites in who raised me, but being as I am a boy, I had a slight inclination to be more like my father, whom I will be paying tribute to today. My dad, Terry Wayne Thistle, was born in the spring of 1963 and grew up in a modest family of five, him being the middle son between an older brother and a younger sister, along with their mother and father. They grew up in Tidewater, Oregon, a small community about 10 miles up the LC River. He went to school in Walport his entire adolescent life. When it came time to decide what he'd be doing as a career, all signs pointed to him taking the path of his father and becoming a logger. This wasn't the limit of his abilities, as he excelled in other areas of school, such as academics, to sports, to even the social aspects as well. He left Walport High School and a few years later married his high school sweetheart, my mother. He continued on in Tidewater, creating his own business, working alongside family and friends, and still runs the business to this day. My father, my two brothers, and I have always had a special bond. Whether it be camping or hunting, we were all together. We felt as if we were indestructible as we looked out for one another. I look back on many family trips, just the four of us, and I don't think they could have been any better than they were. When I was young, especially, we took one trip in particular every year or so to John Day, and we'd float down the river for about 3 or 4 days at a time, and we would meet family there as well. And during the day, we would float and fish and swim, and then when it came time to late afternoon, evening, we would pull up along shore and camp there for the night. And so, with it just being my brothers and dad, just all of us going over for the 7-hour drive, I don't think it could have been any better with more or less of my family going along. So. When it was just us, sure, there were many difficult times, whether it be my brothers and I weren't getting along, or one of us was frustrated with our dad. But we got through many of our fights and arguments. Many things today my father and I don't see eye to eye on, but morals, beliefs, and values, I'm still learning and taking notes from him even now. My dad is an honest, hard-working, intelligent man that does what it takes to provide for his family. He tries to give them the best life he could give them. Many times I wouldn't understand this, but I'm starting to grasp it now. I try to emulate the better side of his behavior and ideals as I see they are good pillars to live by. First off, his work ethic. My father is one of the most hardworking men I know. When there's a job, he doesn't waste time. If there's something to be done, he's on it. So this weekend, for instance, we were elk hunting, and we would get together with some more family and close friends, and if someone didn't have an idea of where to go hunting or where we should go scout out, he would usually be the first one to suggest our options. He kind of has the mentality of a lead follow or get out of the way, and so he'll give us something to go off of and for us to follow him. He's taken me to help him with work and different projects as I've grown up, from tree falling to running his various selection of equipment to the endless cords of wood we've hauled to take all over southern Lincoln County. There's always been one thing he's instilled in me that resonates with any and every job I've taken on, and that's to work harder than anyone else. He's told me that too many times to count, and to this day, if I'm helping him or working at my own job, I give it my all. He's taught me that employers especially notice this quality in a worker and want those people specifically. It's something I agree with 100% with my dad, and I hope to pass this belief down on to my children someday. Next, his honesty as a man of business and principle is impeccable. Another key belief he taught me that I'm still grasping even today is that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. He believes that a man is only as good as his word, and when you make a promise, you must uphold that promise. If you don't respect honesty and don't achieve what you told others you would do, you lose all credibility. People include you, or won't include you, or ask for help if you can't be honest and keep your promises. I think that this is a virtue that has kept him going in business over the years and is a good moral to include. Finally, my father and I agree on having a good time. Meaning, when work is over, do something you enjoy. Something that makes life worth living. He taught me to never take life too seriously, as life is meant to be enjoyed. When put into perspective, we're only here for a short time. So, get the most fun out of it as you can. He can have a temper sometimes, and when in stressful situations, yelling is a common tactic of his. But even if I screwed up and he went on a tyrant, I would not take him seriously, as this was his own way of personally venting his frustration. In teaching me how to have a good time, he also gave me his somewhat cruel sense of humor that a lot of people would say isn't very nice. And it's true, there are some things that him and I have said that make us look back and think, probably shouldn't have said that. But in a way, I'm glad that I got that, because it matches the never take life too seriously aspect. Growing up in an outdoor family, usually fun was something like going four-wheeling or clay pigeon shooting, something that we could do together. To this day, we continue to go on a few hunting and camping trips every year to have some quality father-son bonding time, as he likes to put it. One trip in particular, every Memorial Day weekend, we would go camp over by Prineville, and we would meet family that lives over there, and we would camp for about 3 or 4 days and just relax, just have a good time. It used to be my brothers and I and my father would all go there, but over the years they grew up and they had to, take on other responsibilities. So the last 2 or 3, it's been just my father and I going over there, and just with the two of us, we'd pack, enough food and a tent for just the two of us, and so just stuff like that we can come together on, once or twice a year and still have a good time. Even though I take most of his lectures with a grain of salt, I know that he's simply trying his best to make sure I don't make the same mistakes as him, as he is figuring out his life. As I grow older, I think these values of working hard, being honest, and enjoying life to be true, and that they are just a few rules to live by. I'm glad to have learned these essential lessons early on in my short existence, and I have my father to thank.